Hello, everyone. I'd just like to share that this session is being recorded, so please just take note of that. However, no one's video or picture is being shown. Just want you to be aware that this is being recorded. Hello, and welcome to Supporting the Black Experience at UC San Diego. I am Portia Curry, pronouns she, her, and hers, and I direct the UC San Diego Black Resource Center. So excited that you all are here joining us tonight. We have a good amount of information to share with you about the work that we do, and we're happy to answer any questions that you have about the Black Resource Center, the Black student experience, and anything really in general that we can help support you with. We also have a couple of Black students, current Black students from our campus who are with us tonight. They also work at the Black Resource Center, so they'll be telling you about their experience as well as answering any questions that you have. So with that, we will go ahead and get started. I'm going to be telling you about the Black Resource Center, and our students call it a home away from home at UC San Diego. So again, I'm Portia Curry. I'm also a UC San Diego alumnus, so definitely gives you some perspective on my commitment to not only our campus, but the Black experience at UC San Diego, as I was at one point a Black student on this campus. Just really excited, really passionate about the work, and I'm glad to be able to connect with you all and support students through their time at UC San Diego. Tay Richardson. Tay, do you want to introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. My name is Tay Richardson. My pronouns are they, them, and L, and I'm the Assistant Director for the Black Resource Center, East Coast native.
Awesome. Thank you, Tay. And we also have 6 interns that we hire on an academic year basis, and they work at the Black Resource Center with us. This is a picture of our interns from last year. Because we are working in a virtual environment, we haven't been able to take a group picture yet, but we will get that as soon as we can, and there will be some pictures of our interns later on in the presentation. But just note that because we have interns at the center, this is an opportunity that's open to all of our students on a yearly basis. If you're interested in working at the BRC, all you have to do is apply, and we hire both incoming first years and transfer students at the BRC. So know that this will be an opportunity for you as well. So the BRC physical space, this is I think one of our most valued assets that we have as a center, in that it's a space where our students can come in, hang out. There's space to study. There are computers where you can use them for whatever. It may be studying, taking an exam, working on a paper. Our students really just come in and use the computers for whatever type of computing needs that they have. We have a study and prayer room where students can come in and use that space. It's a really tranquil space that you can use in whatever way that you need. That's a reservable space, as well as a conference room that we use to meet in, and other folks can reserve that space as a meeting space or a programming space. The picture on the top right is actually of our family room, which is the space where when everyone comes in, just like you see in the picture, we had an event going on at that time, but on a lot of days, it looks like that as well. Our students come in, they might have conversations with each other, just connect with each other. Different events happen, and we literally, the couches, all of them kind of separate and can move around so that the space can really be what students need it to be. On the bottom right is our balcony. So our students come in, and if you go straight out, the picture actually in the middle, you can see the door out to our balcony. And that is a private balcony space where students can come in, use that space. There's tables and chairs out there, so you can have your lunch out there, have a small meeting, or just enjoy nature within the BRC. The space is open all throughout the week, Monday through Friday. Of course, right now we are closed, as is the rest of campus, for the most part, just because, in response to COVID-19. But as soon as we are able to get back on campus, we will definitely do that, as we are excited to be connecting again in person with our students and hopefully with potential students who come and visit campus. So here's a few of the programs that we do on a yearly basis. Tay, do you want to talk about our programming?
Sure. Yes. So we do a bunch of different programs as the BRC Center overall, as well as our interns. They also do programs. We have three pillars in our center, which is scholarship, leadership, and community. And we like to make sure that our programs sort of encompass those different themes. So everything ranging from academics and studying and writing workshops, all the way to, as you see on here, a Sync It Out, which is like a lip sync battle program, or the Shop, which was a culmination from an intern that involved bringing Black businesses on campus and off onto campus for folks to be able to get their hair cut to sort of replicate that barbershop experience. So we have a wide variety of programs. We have some that are repetitive, as you see Black Friday in the middle. That's a program that still happens currently. Every other week, there's a different topic that we discuss, whether it's relationships, power dynamics, spirituality and ritual, Black love, really looking at all of these things through the Black lens and how we experience it as a community. We also have different collectives on campus. So you'll see the Black Geek Collective there, which is a collective that was made for anyone that identifies as a geek. So that's, I like anime, I like to cosplay, I like comics, I like horror, any way that geekness shows up within you. We also have a Black Men's Collective, a Black Women's Collective, which we work with and is housed within the Women's Center, and then a Black Queer Collective, which is housed under the Black Student Union, which we support. So a wide range of things. Another thing that we love to do is seek collaboration with community. So if there's ever anything that you all would like to see, or like, oh, I wish this program was happening, or I wish that this is something that could be going on, definitely communicate with us, because we love to bring new things to campus and to make sure that we're providing support for all of our Black community.
Thank you, Tay.
Welcome.
Our BRC Success Theory. So this is something that we wanted to share with you all because, one, this is our a signature program or series that we do in the Black Resource Center. It is really set up to not only create a welcome and transition for our incoming students, both first year and transfer students, but then we also come back together mid-year, really just to ensure that those concepts and information, knowledge that we share, students have a significant grasp of that. And then we share additional information. So the Black Student Success Institute happens during Welcome Week or the week before school starts. This year we did weeks of welcome. There was like 2 or 3 weeks where we had Welcome Week activities. So the Success Institute happened during that time. And really, it's a full day of activities that we have set up for incoming Black students, just to make sure that you have readily accessible information and knowledge about what it is and what it means to navigate UC San Diego. As you can see in the picture on the left, we have a resource panel, and that is a number of our partners and collaborators from across campus who work with us and have proven to be committed to the experience and the success of Black students. And we bring them in just to talk about what they do in their office, ensure that students know their face and their name. So at the point, and I would say at as opposed to if, but at the point you need them, you know where to find them and how they can help you, how they can support you. It's also a matter of us making sure that Black students have access to really cool information, like studying abroad. A lot of folks think that they're not able to study abroad, or studying abroad is too expensive, or just not something that Black students do. And we really want to dispel all misconceptions and all stereotypes about anything that Black students do, because as we all know, the Black community is not a monolith. We are very diverse even within the community, and we all like to do different things. And studying abroad is an extremely valuable experience and resource for students, regardless of how you identify and how you show up. So things like that, doing research. UC San Diego is a Research One institution. And research is something that we do extremely well, regardless of what your major is or whatever your discipline is. So we want all students to know about the opportunities to do research and also know how to get in touch with that at a very early level so that you can participate in different types of research during the time that you're at UC San Diego. We bring our campus leaders and other staff on campus, people from throughout the community. For instance, in the second picture is our Vice Chancellor for Equity, Diversity, and Inclusion, Dr. Becky Pettit. She comes and greets our students and welcomes them to campus. She's very involved and invested in our students' experience, and she wants you to know her as soon as you get to campus, as well as other folks in that office. At the food you can see in the third picture, we're really intentional about not only just feeding students, but also bringing in different food throughout the African diaspora. As many people know, communities of color, and specifically the Black community, we coalesce and come together around food. So a lot of times at our events, we may have food or something that you can fill your tummy with so that not only are we giving you great information, but it's an opportunity for us to build community and be together. In Mid-Year Mixer, one thing that I think is notable about that program is it literally happens the middle of the year, our winter quarter during week 5. We bring a lot of different resources back, and as opposed to talking about what needs to happen during this quarter or this academic year, it is really framed in helping students to prepare to have a successful and productive summer and next academic year. We have a lot of students who it's spring and they just start thinking about what they're going to do during the summer or the next year. And in some cases, it may be too late. So the mid-year mixer is really to help students get access to that information in a timely manner and be able to make any moves that they need to make in order to really take advantage of that time. Peer guidance program. This is one of the really exciting programs that we offer at the Black Resource Center, in that it is a transition and mentorship program for our incoming students, both first year and transfer students. Everyone who signs up for this program gets paired with a continuing Black student on our campus, someone who has already learned to navigate the campus academically and socially. We want students to be able to come in and be able to get connected with someone like an older sibling who cares about you, cares about your experience, and is invested in you being successful while you're here. This program is absolutely free, and it has a number of different elements to it outside of being paired with a mentor. We do a lot of different academic success and supplemental instruction type programs. There's social events. Last year we rented a bus and took the students on a tour of San Diego so you could see life outside of La Jolla and everything that it has to offer. A lot of things within our community, within the Black community, can be seen further out in San Diego. So we wanted students to be aware of those things. And then there's a number of other different programs that are part of the peer guidance program, but it's really curated to be a great first year for first year students. We don't want anyone feeling like they haven't gotten connected, that they don't have anyone looking out for them and supporting them. And that peer guidance program really helps to mitigate any of those feelings. And Black graduation is really the culmination of our academic year as a community. It is the point that everyone has been waiting for, both students and their families. We have been lucky thus far that we have a large enough space where we have not had to limit the amount of people that you can bring to Black graduation. So our students have all of their friends and family who were there, and it's a huge celebration. The picture smack dab in the middle is of our faculty members who are on stage. So our Black faculty members are also a part of Black graduation, and it's really a symbolic, I think, blessing of them having taught our students throughout their time at UC San Diego, really giving them a blessing as they move to the next stage of their life. So really excited for you all to join us on campus so that one day we can see you cross the stage at Black graduation. Another element of the work that we do is community programming. So especially or more intentionally over the last couple of years, We have partnered with the Black Resource Centers or other similar spaces at the other San Diego universities. So University of San Diego and San Diego State, we partner with them in order to do large scale community events. And these are pictures from two different events that we did in the past. I think this must have been almost 2 years ago, or 2 years ago this year. We rented out a theater with them, and our students were able to watch Black Panther the night that it came out here in San Diego. And that was, of course, a great experience for everyone. And then last year we did a huge skate night, and that was completely open to all Black students. Well, really anyone who's interested, but it's framed for Black students here in San Diego. And everyone, again, from those different universities met us at the skating rink, and we were there for a few hours. We were able to curate our own playlist, our own music, and it was a really, really fun night. So one thing to know about this is that although these are programs that we have done, these particular events, this skate night and this the Black Panther screening, were both ideas that students had that came to us and said, hey, why don't we do something like this? And we are always open to hearing what our students think and different ideas that you have. Our resources are really for you as students. You are paying your student fees, which go towards keeping the BRC open. And we want to make sure that the programming and services and resources that we offer really serve to support our Black students on campus. Black student organizations, collectives, and academic units. So I really wanted to share this with you all so you're aware of different sources of support and activities outside of the Black Resource Center. Although we partner and collaborate with a lot of these units and organizations, they're completely separate from the Black Resource Center. So we have NSBE, the National Society of Black Engineers, Black Student Union, Black Campus Ministries, which is not pictured here, just came back online this year, the African Student Association. We have the National Pan-Hellenic Council, which is the council of all of the Black Greek letter organizations, the Divine Nine. And then we also have different educational units in our community, the African American Studies minor, which we expect will be a major very soon, as well as the Black Studies Project, which was just awarded over $500,000 in order to do and increase the work towards Black studies on our campus. We also have really exciting collectives that you can get connected to. And our collectives are set up in a way where you can come in, folks who share the same identities can come in, have space together, share different conversations, support each other, or do different activities off campus. And examples of those are the Black Women's Collective, which actually happens at the Women's Center, the Black Queer Collective, Black Men's Collective, and the Black Geek Collective. Again, as with everything else at the Black Resource Center, we are completely open. If you feel like there's another collective that needs to be started and you're happy to do it, we will partner with you to make that happen. More than anything, we want the BRC to be a space where anyone who identifies as Black can come in and feel like this is their space, like they can get the needs that they have met and are able to thrive and be successful on our campus. So next, we are going to have a student panel. I'm going to ask that our students, Anthony, Layla, Jasmine, and Cyan, if you all can join us, because we have some questions for you. Now, just so you all know, I see you all, that you all are here. So I have some questions, but it's really more important to me that your questions get answered. So please, there should be an icon, either at mine, it's at the top, yours may be at the bottom. It says Q&A and it has two little boxes. If you click there, you can send us any questions that you have or that you'd like to have answered. So I will start and get us started, and then I will keep an eye on the Q&A box to find out if students have any questions. So if you all can just start with introducing yourself, sharing your gender pronouns if you feel comfortable, and just telling us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, what your major is, college, and any other introductory information that you'd like to share. And you all can go in the order that I have you on the screen.
Hey, how is everybody doing today? So my name is Anthony. I'm a second year transfer from Santa Monica College, pronouns he, him, his. I'm actually a communication major with a minor in entrepreneurship and innovation. I'm a part of Marshall College, and I'm actually a senior this year, so I'm looking forward to Black grad as well. Um, yeah, I'm from Los Angeles, and yeah, I'm just excited to answer all everyone's questions that you may have, and so that way you guys can have a better understanding of the things that we have to offer here at UC San Diego.
Hi everyone, my name is Leah. I'm a third year in Sixth College. My major is sociology with a concentration in law. So I'm pursuing a pre-law path. I'm a student success leader at the Black Resource Center. And yeah, I'm just excited to get to know all of you and answer any questions any of you have.
Hi everyone, my name's Jasmine. My gender pronouns are she, her, hers. I am a sociology major with a concentration in law as well. I was born and raised in San Diego, so I transferred from San Diego City College to UCSD. I go to Marshall College, and it is, I'm sorry, my dog is like chasing her tail behind me. But yeah, I'm a senior transfer student from San Diego City College.
No worries, Jasmine. Our pets are welcome too. Awesome. So I have one question that's in the we received from students, and I will go ahead and answer this because I think I might be the best person to ask. To answer this. So someone asked, are there Black sororities on campus? And then someone asked, are there Black fraternities on campus? So pretty much same question. When I talked about NPHC, or the National Panhellenic Council, that is exactly what that is. And just to give you all a little more insight as to how it's set up at in San Diego, and I was going to say UC San Diego, but it's generally in San Diego. So most of our chapters are citywide chapters, and what that means is there's one chapter for all of the universities in San Diego. So if you're interested in one of those organizations, Alpha Phi Alpha, Alpha Kappa Alpha, Delta Sigma Theta, or any of the other 9, you can show interest in that organization. And all you have to do is be a student on your campus and a member of that organization, and you end up bringing that organization to campus. Right now, the only active organization on our campus right now is Sigma Gamma Rho. However, like I said, all it really takes is someone joining the organization to bring that organization back to campus. Those charters are already set in San Diego. And right now, there's just no members of that organization on our campus. So hopefully that makes sense. If anyone wants to, my email will be listed at the end of the presentation. If anyone wants to ask any additional questions about that, you can definitely feel free to ask. But there's another question that we have, and it's, are there jobs offered at the BRC for students? Does anyone want to talk about that?
Yeah, I'll answer this one. So yeah, as you can see, that we are all of the students that in the student panel here, me, Layla, and Jasmine, we're all actually student success leaders here at the Black Resource Center, and it's honestly, I think it's a very helpful job, and it's a job that is actually paid. It's an internship as well. It's a year-long program. Um, you actually get to start it during your second year at the school. So from your first year, once you apply, you'll be able to go through training around like maybe the spring and the summer. And after that, you'll be able to go through a hiring process, which will obviously it takes a little bit of time, but it's definitely worth it. You meet a lot of nice people. You get to do things like this to come and help share information about the community and what we do here, and I think it's really worth it.
Yeah, to add on to that, it's also a position where you're allowed to grow. Each quarter, we have to come up with 2 programs. Like Tay mentioned earlier, they're based off of pillars, our 3 pillars, scholarship, leadership, and sorry, I'm having a brain fart.
Community.
That's what I have this quarter too. Sorry. But yeah, so it's really great. You get to grow and then just like meet new people and things like that. So I like it.
Awesome. Thanks, y'all. Okay, so let's start with what was a valuable resource for you while you were applying to different colleges and universities?
And by resources, what do you give me some examples for? Like, what do you mean by that?
Were there, I don't know, was there anyone that you spoke to who helped you navigate the process a little easier? Did you visit any websites? How did you gather your information? Like, what helped you through this process? Imagine that you were in these students' places and it's, October, right before applications are due. What helped you be more successful during this time?
I think for me, it was like, so I'm a transfer student. I did a lot of research with my, pretty much one of my advisors at Santa Monica, and she was basically helping me to understand like the ins and out, what it was I wanted to do with my career, the program I was trying to be a part of. And I'm big on social justice, and Marshall College was something that really, really stuck out to me here at UC San Diego, everything that it stands for, as well as coming to the campus and meeting you all, and you all showing me the type of programs that were evolved for Black students. Because for me, I don't know, but I'm sure this is something that everybody goes through, but it's such a big campus, so it can be a bit frightening. And for a Black student, you want to make sure that you're comfortable. And I think you guys did a really good job with that for me. So that was one of the biggest things.
Personally, for me, also speaking from experience as a transfer student, I just utilize my counselors as well. But I'm also speaking from a place of when I was in my community college, I was privileged enough to be part of groups and communities that were dedicated towards Black student success. So those were the resources that kind of pushed me to apply and like what my application should look like, what I should be involving myself now so that it would look good on the apps, such as community service, things like that. So just talking to your counselor, someone who's really dedicated to like take the time, get to know you, to help you even pick out your major, because I know some people, they don't even know what they really want to major in yet. So just having someone to talk to like that, like a counselor.
Yeah, so it's kind of similar for me. I spoke to my counselor. My situation was a bit different. So I grew up outside of the US. So I was born here, but I grew up in Sudan, which is in North Africa. So my application process was a bit different, but I did a lot of research and there are just a lot of resources at UCSD and specifically the Black Resource Center. You guys can check out their Instagram page, their social media to get more of a feel of the sense of community there. But that specifically, like the sense of, I can't stress this enough, like the sense of community at the Black Resource Center is like, it's been a huge part of my experience at UCSD, and it's made a huge difference to my college experience. And I honestly don't know what I would do without it. So yeah, just use the resource. I would just suggest to use like the resources available to you, and just know that the staff at the Black Resource Center genuinely have, your best interest at heart. They want you to succeed in whatever path you may choose, and we are always here to support you. Yeah.
Thank you. So here's another question. What attitude does the San Diego community have towards Black students or Black people in general? From your experience.
So from my experience, I would say that I guess when I moved to San Diego, it was a bit shocking at first because there weren't as many Black people, and coming from where I come from, it's so many more Black people. So I was a bit kind of out of place, but I think it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's a good community. People are friendly. It's such a diverse campus, so you're able to meet so many, different races, different cultures, people from different backgrounds. And me personally, that's something that I was seeking when I was coming to the UC system, because I wanted to learn more about different cultures, different people, and expand my horizon, right? So I think it's a very friendly and welcoming community, and especially through having something like this with the BRC, it was able for me, like I was able to make friends. I was able to be involved with like a Black group me chat where everything was going on campus. I knew everything was going on, the events that were happening. It just, like, initially, soon as I got there, I felt so much more comfortable, because at first I was like, I don't know how it's gonna go. Will people like me here and things like that? But once you dive in, I think it'll be a really good experience. And it's also a good thing to grow and be uncomfortable sometimes too. So that's why I like the San Diego area.
Did anyone else want to add to that at all?
I can add. Um, I would say that I never really realized until I went to UCSD and I was meeting students that weren't even from California who would say like, oh, there's not a big Black population. But that's only, I didn't realize it because I grew up here. And as like growing up, I would consciously make sure that I surrounded myself by Black people. Even my community college was more diverse than UCSD is. So it wasn't until when I got to UCSD that I understood what people were starting to say. But I recognized that the campus is in La Jolla. So it is kind of detached from what San Diego actually is. So as long as you make it upon yourself to like actually explore San Diego and different parts of San Diego and, finding like your Black community outside of La Jolla, then you should be good.
Thank you. Okay, this is a really good question. What has been your biggest challenge at UCSD?
The workload, I would say. And in such a short amount of time, you're coming from like going to a school that is semester system. So coming into quarter, it's kind of just like everything is compact and like there's never a time where you kind of really have a break. Like when you would go to school, you have like your syllabus week. It's not really like that here. It's just like from the get, like you got to get started. They're sending you readings before classes even started. So just be prepared for that.
Yeah, she stole my answer, but it was definitely like just the quarter system, and because it's very fast, it's fast paced, it's 10 weeks. I'm used to like a 16-week course coming from Santa Monica, and it it forces you to really be better with your time. It forces you to grow in those areas, using time management, making sure that you're always doing what you have to be doing. But I think that was pretty much the biggest challenge for me. Finals, sometimes you have midterms like at week 3, week 6. Having multiple, big tests within a quarter was kind of tough for me. But once you get into it and you go through it, you kind of adapt to it and it becomes kind of easy for you.
For me, it was more stepping out of my comfort zone. So I went to the same school my whole life, like since I was like 4 until I was 18, this exact same school. So obviously being at UCSD was very different. There were a lot more people. Um, so yeah, at first I wouldn't really put myself out there. But then like over time, when I got a bit more comfortable, I got comfortable with making myself uncomfortable. So I tried to step out of my comfort zone a bit more and like actually experience different things and try new things out. And so yeah, it was challenging at first, but once you start doing it, then you just find what you're into and yeah.
Thank you. So the next question is, what is the mission of the BRC? And I can take that one. I won't read the whole thing, but the BRC is a supportive campus community space for the Black experience at UC San Diego. And really what that means is that we're here to support Black students. And really we support the entire campus, but everything that we do is through the lens of Blackness. We center Black students, the Black community, in our services, our support, our programs. And we, like I said, we invite anyone can come into the center at any point on any day and utilize our services. But just know that this is a space where we are centering Blackness and celebrating Blackness and making sure that our Black students have what they need. One example that Tay, our assistant director, is probably sick of is I really want the BRC to be the space that, regardless of who the student is, it's the space that they need. And I always think of in Harry Potter, the room of requirements. I don't know if folks know like Harry Potter at all, but whoever goes into the room becomes what they need it to be. And that's what I want the BRC to be. Like if you need a study space, I want the BRC to be a study space. If you need someone to check in on you and say, how are you doing? And give you a hug outside of COVID, that's what we'll do. If you just want to hang out and you want to laugh, the BRC will definitely be that. It can be a very loud and raucous space. Our students can definitely attribute to that. But we just want the center to be what you need it to be. And that is really outside of, I think, an official mission. That is our mission. Now, the next question is, how does the quarter system work? And I know that you all talked about the quarter system a little bit, but if you'd like to give a little more information to help folks understand the workings of a quarter system.
Yeah, so it is 10 weeks. And then depending on who your professor is and maybe even your major, is dependent on when your midterm starts. Some people, they get it week 3. Me, I think I'm getting mine's like week 5 and stuff like that. So it is 10 weeks. And then you have your last week after the 10th week, which is considered finals week. So technically it's almost like 11 weeks. That last week is when all the professors kind of just lay out the finals. They're not all on the same day as long as you don't choose them on the same day, or make sure that your classes, they're not conflicting with different times and things like that. But yeah, technically it's like 11 weeks, 10 of like lecturing, things like that, and 1 week for finals.
Thank you. So I already asked you all what was a valuable resource while you were applying to universities. So I want to ask the other side of that. What do you wish that you knew, right? What information do you wish you knew or had access to that maybe you know now and can give to these students as they're navigating, making their decision as to where they want to apply and universities that they're interested in? This was a hard one, huh?
Definitely is. I haven't thought about it enough, so I'm trying to think about it now.
I mean, what is it? It's been about a year since you all got on campus. What are some things that you found out too? You feel like, I wish I would have known that. Or even if it was something that you wish you would have done. Y'all knew everything and did everything.
I guess I wish I would have known how important it is to become involved in different things on campus. And I didn't really know that until like the summer before I started UCSD, because I went on like a week-long trip because I got a CAS scholarship. So we're supposed to go on like a trip for like a week at UCSD, stay there. And then they started telling us like how important it is to become involved in different things like internships, volunteering, applying for like research opportunities, things like that. So I wish I would have known that coming in. So I definitely think I would have maybe tried to take on a little bit more my first year.
That's good.
For me, I use like my counselor at my high school, like while I was applying, but I wish I like reached out to counselors at UCSD more. I think that's such a valuable resource to use. They're very helpful, and I wish I, reached out to them more. Also, the UCSD website has like can basically answer any question you have. For example, I switched my major like so I'm a third year now, but I just switched my major like quite recently. And it's because like the major I'm in now, I didn't even know it existed. And that was on me because I didn't, I could have reached out to a counselor earlier. I could have, went on the UCSD website and actually looked at all the majors. So yeah, go on the website. It answers basically every question you have. And if it doesn't, you can always reach out to a counselor. Their contact information is on there, and they'll help you through your experience as well.
Yeah, that was really good. Anthony, do you have anything?
Yeah, I think it was for me as a transfer student, I was so bent on just getting to class, making sure I just did my work so I can get out and transfer somewhere, right? But I think here is very important to make sure that you network with people so that way you are able to have a easier time here at UC San Diego, as well as like create those relationships and friendships and things like that, because it can be really tough. And so yeah, I think that's what it is for me, just networking more and trying to put myself in more positions as opposed to just going to class and going home. Because at UCSD, there's so much going on. I remember when I first got there, I was just like, okay, I'm just gonna go to class and then go to my dorm. But then it was just like my phone was blowing up with so many events and things that were going on. And I just think that it was for me just to make sure that I took my time and made sure that I went to all of these things and put myself out there a little more.
Thank you. So another great question that's come up, and it's about building relationships with your professors. Do you feel you have been able to build relationships with your professors? So anyone who can answer this and talk about, if you have, how you have gone about doing that, because we all know how important this is.
Oh yeah, this is perfect for me. I'm big on making sure that I create relationships with my professors because I feel like it can be beneficial for me in the end. So UC San Diego has a program through Marshall College or through whatever college you attend. It's called Coffee with the Prof. So basically, I would sit down with my professors. We would have coffee, and at times it would be like a very informal conversation, right? You're not just in class, you get to know them. They kind of tell you about their life story, where they've been, tell them about mine. After that, like the aspiration and goals that I have as a student, they were able to connect me with other people that they've known. And I think that's what it is, just stepping out of your comfort zone, like I was saying, and networking and just asking. Don't be afraid to ask, because the professors are really, willing to help. Me as a communication major, they're definitely, all the professors I've had are willing to, sit down and talk with me and work through things with me.
Thank you. We have another question, and it says, could you talk more about the community projects that you do? So I know that you all just started your internship, but maybe you can talk about either some projects that you've seen on campus, maybe some things you were involved with last year, or maybe some things that you're planning on doing during your internship year at the Black Resource Center.
So for me, I've always been into like community projects and work and community service and things of that nature. So one thing that I have been a part of, it's called the Mustard Seed Project. It's basically an organization that, so they have this, it's a hand up versus a handout mentality. So instead of, it's more like, sorry, how do I put this? It's more, so some of the things we did was like, for example, once a week we would go to this shelter and we would provide a hot meal for, the homeless people there. But in addition to that, we would also provide them with resources to actually help them get out of, their situation. So that was a very valuable experience for me, and I definitely want to get involved in that again. Yeah. Oh, sorry, just to add to that. Um, so I definitely want to, hopefully when we're back on campus, I definitely want to, start my own program, like through my internship, something similar to that, similar to like helping, obviously San Diego has a huge homeless population. So I definitely want to, help out with that. And there are a lot of people on campus that they kind of have that same goal. So you'll definitely find a lot of people that are similar in that sense that, they want to engage in community service and work. So there are definitely a lot of experiences available to you for that.
Thank you. Oh, Anthony, were you going to share?
Yes. So basically, there's been a ton of events I've went to, but something that I'm really more like excited about doing is the fact that we have these three pillars here as interns that are scholarship, leadership, and community. So a little backstory is I grew up in a foster youth. So for me, it's very like foster youth kids are very near and dear to me. So that's something that I want to do with my programming is find ways to, implement community and find ways to push myself to step outside of there because I do have aspirations of starting my own nonprofit one day. So I just feel like this internship is something that will really help me to step out of my comfort zone and learn the ins and outs of doing things like that. So, yeah.
Thank you. So you all can continue to ask questions. I'm going to throw in one of the questions that I wrote. Okay, so we've talked about a lot of academic and resource oriented topics, but what has been one of the most fun things, one of the most lit things that y'all have done since you've been at UC San Diego? It could be within community or outside of community, something that these students would have to look forward to.
I would say for me would just be going to the family room and just hearing conversations and like little debates go on. They're just so funny and just engaging, and I really miss that. Just being with community has always been like something that just makes me happy. And in between class, like, I'm kind of just dreading going to my next class. So then going into like the family room just like kind of brings my energy back up. So I really miss that.
So yeah, like outside of the center, obviously the Black Resource Center is one of the most lit places for community because we always listen to music. We can kind of just be informal, talk how we want to talk, have fun and things like that. But I would say I'm a big sports fan. So basketball games were always intriguing and fun for me. Also, just some of the like parties we would have. Those are things that, you asked what was lit. So that was some of the things.
Did any of you all go to ABC?
I
Jasmine,
did.
Jasmine went.
It was so fun. I was gonna mention that too. ABC was amazing.
What is ABC?
So African Black Coalition, it's basically like a few-day event where you go, there's keynote speakers, workshops, you can network there. It's just an amazing conference to be there. And then of course at night is where like the parties happen, things like that. So all UCSD over California together, whatever campus or whatever city is held at that year. This previous year, it was in Fullerton, I believe. So it was.
Layla, do you want to add something? Okay, I'm going to add something. And it's funny because I was thinking like, why aren't they bringing up Sun God? But sad face. So as you all know, and I'm sure it was the same thing for you all, we weren't on campus this last spring, and usually spring is the most lit time of the year, in my opinion, for college. And I'm not sure if I share this with you all, but I'm also a UC San Diego alumnus. And the Sun God Festival happens every spring, usually like late April, early May. And it's been happening even when I was a student back in the Stone Ages. So there's always like really huge musical acts. I feel like Saweetie was there maybe like last year. Janae Aiko came when I was in school. I don't know. I'm not going to tell you all because that's going to really age me. But it was some really big artists there when I was in school as well. And there's like all types of different like booths and games and all kind of stuff. So that's something not only our interns who are, this is their second year at UC San Diego. So unfortunately we missed that last spring. But you all, when you join our campus, you'll be able to take advantage of that festival as well as a number of other festivals that happen on campus throughout the academic year. So it doesn't look like we have any more questions right now. If you all have any last questions, please throw it in there. We have time for maybe two more. So I will add one more of mine in the meantime. Share your favorite thing about the Black community at UCSD, not the BRC.
We're really tight knit, even though the population is small. We're just so like close together, and like I don't know, it just kind of feels like it's like a family feeling. Like even if we're just walking on campus and you see another Black person, it's just like, yes, I see you, you see me. It's just so validating. So I just love that feeling.
Yeah, I was definitely leaning towards that. It's just I know so many more Black people on campus by just seeing them because on a day-to-day basis we see each other and we make eye contact with each other and we smile at each other, and then I don't know, it's just it's really a home away from home, not the BRC, but just like the population because it is a small one, and you I don't know, I think in some ways it can be kind of good in that aspect because you honestly get to know each other more, and you know you spot people out even if you don't know their name, you just wave at them and everybody waves at each other. That's one of the most affirming things for me.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think because it's such a small population is, like Anthony said, is what makes us so close. Um, and it is very similar to like your own family. Like obviously, you all have your own differences, but you're still connected and you're still one family. And that's something I love about the Black community, because obviously we all have different backgrounds. Like even within the Black community, although we are similar in a lot of ways, we still do have our differences. But I like how that's, celebrated and acknowledged, and like people actually want to hear about, your own individual background and experience. And so you can kind of, obviously talk about that, but then you can also connect on how you're similar. And that's something I love personally.
Wonderful. Well, thank you all for participating in this panel. I really appreciate your transparency as well as all of the awesome information and knowledge that you shared with our potential students. So in closing, I would like to just share, Q&A, which we have already done. I think there may be one more. Oh, okay. Just a message for us. Someone said, thank you, and you all are amazing. So I agree. Last page is just an opportunity for you all to connect with us. So because we're not on campus right now, we are very active on social media. Our interns, they are responsible for our social media content. So it is very live and very active all day. Every day. So you can follow us or on any of these accounts. I know our Instagram is especially very active. We have all of these different focuses happening throughout the week: mindfulness Mondays, takeover Tuesday, would you rather Wednesdays, which really stress me out. Every time I get on Instagram and I see all those would you rathers, I have to like back out. They ask things like, would you rather your lips be dry or your hands be ashy? And like, who wants to think about that? But it's a great way for you to get connected with us as a campus, as a community. And then check our website out. We have a ton of information on our website, not just about the Black Resource Center, but about the community in general, and also the campus. And lastly, send us an email if you have any questions for us, if you want to get connected directly with us. I know that Tay, our assistant director, shared my email in the chat. So if you all want to connect with me directly, please don't hesitate. Also, it looks like they just dropped the link to our e-newsletter. Now, that is an extremely helpful way to know what's going on at the BRC. We actually have a number of events happening virtually. That's one benefit of us being virtual, is that folks who are not on our campus, who are not necessarily current students, can possibly take advantage of some of the programs that we offer. So if you're interested in getting on our e-news or attending some of our programs, definitely click that link and subscribe to our e-newsletter. And that is all I have. Interns, do you have anything else?
No, this has been great. Thank you all so much for attending tonight.
Thank you. Awesome. Well, thank you all. I hope that this was informative for you. I hope this brings you closer to the decisions, very important decisions that you have to make. Know that if you choose to come to UC San Diego, which we hope you do, we will be here waiting to welcome you and bring you into our community. So hope you have a good rest of your night, and thank you for joining us.